Who's gonna moon the duck toward now that Leslie's not around? Well, it's just as we had feared, with all the weirdness leaving town. And when John Haley signed off on that final show, we lost a piece of Austin that will never quite regrow. Well, the house that I grew up in didn't manage to survive. There's a new house there now with a Porsche out in the drive. And I can't help but wonder, was it really for the best? When I see all these tent cities of the poor and the dispossessed. And Austin ain't the same these days. It's the place that I come from, but Austin ain't the same these days. I'd sure like to go back home, but Austin ain't the same these days. I guess no place really stays the same these days. Well, once met Clifford Antone back when I was just a kid. Katz's never closed until the day they finally did. And I remember Molly Ivins walking her dog in Stacy Park, picking tunes out on the porch with my old friend Gary Clark. Well, you won't hear the Hudsons down at the Waterloo. You won't hear Slim Ritchie, but his mojo is shining through. There's no more Flipnotics and no more Momos or TCs. Well, I guess every place I used to know is a vanished like the breeze. And Austin ain't the same these days. It's the place that I come from, but Austin ain't the same these days. I'd sure like to go back home, but Austin ain't the same these days. I guess no place really stays the same these days. Well, I went downtown and looked around, and there before my eyes it was a big statue of Willie. Now there's a guy I recognize. And I looked up at Willie, and he looked down at me. He said, "Hud, you should have seen this place back in '73. Well, Austin ain't the same these days. It's the place that I come from, but Austin ain't the same these days. I'd sure like to go back home, but Austin ain't the same these days. I guess no place really stays the same these days."